Every day, every week, every month, we are with you in the quest to speak truth to power, call out right from wrong, wrong from right, and stand toe-to-toe with oppressors. We are Kenyans, and there is no chink in our armor. Corruption, tribalism, and nepotism will all fall by our side. Are you ready for 2027? My name is Mzitowafula, and I approve this message. Presidents rarely ever receive phone calls in public forums. In fact, no president worldwide ever does, unless it's an emergency. And yesterday we saw President Ruto receive a public phone call in the middle of a function. Here's the image. Now in this video, I want us to look into why Ruto received this phone call right in the middle of Governor Mungaro's father's funeral. And with no further ado, let's get after it. Number one, I suspect Ruto could have been talking to CAK boss David Mugonyi. And he is likely the one who gave Mugonyi the order to block all live streaming for the local media stations. NTV went down, so did Citizen, KTN, and all the others. That was a directive from the president. And I suspect this is the case because Rigathi Gachagua told us that President Ruto usually writes down statements and gives people to read, or issues directives for others to implement. You will find a CS or somebody in his political circles saying something very outlandish, but yet there is no recourse. Why is that the case? It emanated from the president. So Kenyans might have been greeting David Mugonyi. In fact, his number leaked all over the internet. But it could be that Mugonyi called the president, informed him what was happening, and the president regurgitated instructions that all media stations be closed. And it's a very big shame because these guys are using Information and Communication Acts from 1998. This law that allows Mugonyi to illegally turn off Citizen and NTV and KTN was enshrined in the constitution in 1998 under a dictator called Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, and it is being used by another one called William Samoei Ruto in 2025. This is one of the laws that needs to be revisited, it needs to be changed, and if not, it needs to be expunged from the constitution. I only wonder which MP has the balls to bring this legislation forward, or amendment for that matter. Now, the second reason which could be informing this call by President Ruto from where I sit could have been that the president was receiving an intelligence brief on the situation in the country. More so Nairobi. You know, Ruto is a very cunning guy. He's good at pretending he doesn't care when he actually does. Which is why even today in Wamunyoro and DCP, NIS agents have been planted and they're operating in those vicinities. Even if it is Kalonzo's command center, there is an NIS mall there. No one plants a spy if they don't care what you are doing or if they don't want to know what you are doing. And that in and of itself is an impeachable offense. Richard Nixon under Watergate, he was found guilty of spying on his political opponents using the FBI, and he was about to be impeached for it, and he chose to resign. But here in Kenya, it is a norm. People expect it and they don't even question it. No one can even bring up an impeachment case. Not even the media journalists can ask the president if that is right to do, but such is the case with this country. Long story short, I believe the president could have been receiving an intelligence brief in regards to what is happening in the country. Now, who exactly called the president? If it is not David Mugonyi, then it definitely has to be someone from the National Security Council. I don't expect the PS of Interior to be calling the president to give him a brief. He doesn't sit in the NSC, but I can expect Murkomen to be calling the president, letting him know this and that is what is happening, this is the situation in the country. Because the president is at a funeral service, that is the only opportunity he gets to address the nation. So he needs to have all the facts, because when he speaks, it is going to play on Citizen TV and all these other media houses when the news is rolling out. So it could have very well been an intelligence brief, or it could have been a nefarious employee called Davis Mugonyi trying to get the president to okay the shutdown of media houses. Anywho, let's see what Kenyans on X had to say about this phone call, and I quote. Sally Omae said, "Second half imeshika and the Lord's time is here." A girl, Rosie, said, "Ameambiwa one term." According to Rosie, someone called the president kumwambia one term. Lashant said, "Kola, ebu ingia WhatsApp kidogo." So someone, okay. Kamau D said, "Charlene." Why are you guys doing this? Charlene anauliza lunch ihesabiwe watu wangapi. Oh, this person is referring to invading State House. But what say you guys? What do you think is the reason behind that call? Do drop me your own comments in the comment section below and I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. And in the event you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button, you're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.